Hi, I'm Emma Connolly and I'm assistant trainer of Travelling Head Lass to Noel Mead in Tuva Stables in Castletown in Navan, County Meath. It all began for me in the Mayan Summerhill riding ponies when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and then progressed from there. I wouldn't go to school. I refused point blank to go to school, so I used to get the lads to come and pick me up to go riding out. So that's where it all came from. Progressed from there and started riding race horses when I was 11. And here I am now, in Noel's for the last 9 years. My principal role here in Noel Mead is Travelling Head Lass, is going to the races, getting all the horses organised, all of that, and I do all the veterinary here in the yard as well. I've always had a love for veterinary and what way things work and how stuff gets done to horses and how it works and why it works and all of that. So that's where it progressed from, and I have a good relationship with Lissadell, and they're great to teach me, and Paul Cullen, the head man here since I've been here, has taught me a lot, so it's great. What I enjoy most about the job is the likes of young horses coming in, getting them going, getting them riding, doing all the basic bits with them and seeing them go to the racetrack and becoming grade 1 horses. There's no better feeling than a horse that you've started with since he was a 3-year-old, and then you get to go to the big day with him, a bit like Apache Stronghold. He goes and wins a grade 1 in Leopardstown. It's a brilliant feeling. The biggest influences to me would be my mum and dad. They stood behind me regardless of what I wanted to do, realistically. I wouldn't go to school. All I wanted was horses. When they knew it probably wasn't a great job for a girl, but Paul Cullen, the head man here, has been very good to me as well, and so has Noel, and Damien McGillick as well has been very good to me since I've come in, so they'd be my biggest influences.
Sure, look, to be honest, I don't know what we do without her, because it's you know, she's just she's been with us quite a long time now, and she's just part of the whole scene now, and you don't even think about things that have to be done, because you know Emma has them done before you. You know, she does all the veterinary work and looks after all the medicines and everything that goes on in the yard, and like the likes of that is just invaluable to me and to the whole yard.
I actually can't believe that I made the final 3 of it now, because you never think you're good enough to make the final 3 of anything, because there's always loads of people out there that you know are good at their jobs, and they do the same job as I do every day, so I'm thrilled.
Ash, look, we have to hand a hat off to Godolphin. Like, it was a fantastic idea, and it's worked extremely well, and it's been like everybody that's ever been involved in this or has had an award or even have been to the awards have appreciated it. You know, like we were lucky enough a few years ago that one of our men, Damien McGillick, won an award, and like, I mean, it was one of the highlights of his life, and even to be nominated is a huge highlight, and it's fantastic for Godolphin to push it this way.
The camaraderie and spirit with the people in racing is just unreal, especially the National Hunt crowd. We all help each other, we all stick up for each other, and we're all there for each other, regardless whether it's a phone call, whatever they need, we're always there for each other. It's amazing considering how competitive we all are against each other, but at the end of the day, we all have each other's backs, and that's the main thing.
Hi, I'm Mary Nugent and I'm assistant travelling girl to Gordon Elliott. Started riding when I was very young and got into pony racing, and I went to work for Pat Marsh, and he was only 2 miles up the road from our home house, so once I started there, that was it, and I knew what I was going to do and loved it. And I worked in Kieran Burke's for just over 1.5 years. I was really lucky at the time I was there. We had Hump Ball, so I looked after him, and I loved it over in England, and then Kieran was just getting a bit quiet, so I moved to Paul Nicholas's, and they were very good to me there. Loved it over there. It's a bit more like a holiday camp than over here, but it's different. I have more responsibility here, I suppose. I prefer the racing over here, and then the opportunity came to work here when I came back from England, and I took it up, and I've been here ever since. Yeah, we have a great group of guys here and girls, and it makes coming into work a lot easier when everyone gets on, and for a big yard everyone does get on, and everyone celebrates together, and we take the joys out of all the winners that we get, whether it be in Kilbeggan or Cheltenham, it doesn't matter, we enjoy them all. There isn't really a regular day, we could be anywhere. I would go racing most days, and if we weren't racing, it'd be picking horses up or dropping them off or going to the vets, and then general things around the yard, veterinary stuff, and it varies.
she's up and out to the vets the whole time, you know, following up what has to be done, and for me that's very, very important. It's something I don't have to worry about, you know, when they have to go to the vets next or when they get checkups, and that's a massive job. People don't realise how much of a background thing that is, you know, with veterinary reports and keeping everything right for everyone. Mary's great, like, you know, she's very good.
So a lot of the veterinary side of it, if there was horses going to and from the vets, if they had any issue after racing or things like that, bringing them to the vets, whatever treatment they need done, and the follow-up treatment at home or any kind of rehab and things like that. Yeah, I've been really lucky. We got like loads of opportunities here to go to England, and I got to go to the Breeders' Cup last year with our first 2-year-olds. So I've got to go around a lot of places now. One of the most enjoyable moments we had was probably getting the 8 winners at Cheltenham this year. We didn't think we could top last year, but it was amazing. It was great to be part of. But I'm delighted, like, it's great to get picked out. Everyone's like works so hard in this industry, and to be picked out of so many entries, it's a real honour. It's a really small community, like, but everyone kind of knows everyone. It'd be nice to kind of get a night out with everyone not covered in horsehair and muck, and probably won't recognise half the people, but sure, it'd be a good night.
My name is Sinead O'Sullivan. I'm travelling head last for John Murphy, Upton, Inishannon, County Cork. Well, I've no background as such in racing. Started off in a riding school that was local over the road, and they had a few race horses there at the time. Got into through that, got bitten by the racing bug, and I started off with Andrew Lee and Aileen Sloan. They started me off, got me into the racing game, you know, taught me everything about riding out, riding short, general looking after the horses, you know, going racing. I spent a couple of years with them. Then I went to Thomas O'Leary, who I spent 8 years with. He was very hard-working, dedicated, and I learned a lot from him as well. And then I actually took out the licence myself for 2 years because the opportunity came up. And I tried it. I trained a couple of point-to-point winners, and I had a bumper winner, but it was just too tough. You know, I couldn't hack it, so I gave that up and spent 6 months at Robert Tyner's, and then John Murphy was looking for someone to go racing, and I started here in April 2012 and never looked back. Absolutely love it here, and I love flat horses, which I didn't think I would. Yeah, I love going racing, like you're meeting new people every day. Now the journeys are tough, all right, because we are a good way down south, but you'll get over that, and especially if your horse wins or runs well in the day, you know. Yeah, that's probably a big problem for me. I get too attached, and when things go wrong, oh God, it's a very sad story for me. But just probably get too attached, but you can't help it, you know, they're like your babies. I was lucky enough to look after a horse called Priestley. He won the Tie Estates 2 years in a row when Thomas O'Leary trained him, and I was lucky enough to get him then in his retirement, and he won a point-to-point locally in Dromahan. That was probably the best day of my life. Derek O'Connor rode him. I was bawling, crying, we had an absolute show out of myself. But days like that are really, really special. We had a very nice horse called Big Time who won first time out, and he was second in the Group 1 in the Curragh. That probably was the highlight, you know, and it was the Phoenix Stakes he was second in. That was definitely the highlight, because for a relatively small yard it was nice to be up against the big boys and do so well, you know. There's a great racing community there, and you get to become very good friends with them and all the jockeys and the other lads that go racing. That's what I really enjoy about my work. Yeah, I've got the nickname of Smiley. So yeah, it's lovely. Look, I love it, and as I say, they're a great bunch of people, and I couldn't be in a better job, you know.
Vitally important, vitally important. She's like a veterinary nurse. She is fantastic with people, and the care she gives horses, particularly when they're travelling, is, I don't know of too many that have the skill and the care and dedication of Sinead. She's an exceptional person.
To be nominated was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. It's just nice to get recognised for all the hard work, because it is really hard work. It's a massive initiative by Sheikh Mohammed and Godolphin and Longmate Last.